Okay, it's not every day I spend $700 on a sneaker, nor is it every day I let someone else pick out that $700 sneaker, and that's what I did. You all picked the sneaker I spent $700 on for resale. I guess the real question is, do I have any regrets about that? Okay, also, is that a real question? Because if you know me, you should know there are zero regrets with me picking up a brand new Fear of God 1, finally added to the collection. Now, not only was this a Grail model to own, yes, I know, I dragged my feet in picking it up. We'll talk about that. But you all participated in the process. I love it. The explanations a lot of you gave, you simply wanted me to have a sneaker you thought in your heart was something I've wanted for such a long time, and you were happy to have input on that. I thank you graciously. I would have been happy, truly, genuinely, with any of the 5 pairs on there, whether it would have been the 350 V2 Cream, this Fear of God 1, or even the undefeated Kobe sneaker in the camel colorway. Either way, thank you guys for participating, voting. It means the world to me, and I now own a Grail. There are some good and bad things about finally having this. We will discuss those, but you all just made my 2021. The Nike Air Fear of God 1 is a pretty sizable shoe, so as expected, it comes in a pretty sizable box. You have an all matte finish with gloss accents for Fear of God on the top and a Nike swoosh on the side. Now, my true size is a women's 7.5, which equals a men's 6. However, in many sneakers these days, I go up a half size, and with the complaint this sneaker is rather difficult to get on foot, I thought a half size up may circumvent this. Unfortunately, my pair does not come with the tote bag, which also acts as a dust bag. However, you do have the foil wrapping for each individual sneaker. Before we dive into that, you have a reflective foil pouch that says Air Fear of God and Nike on each side. Within this pouch, you'll have an additional set of laces in a sail colorway and 3 sets of lace locks in 3 different colors. You'll also have the clear, translucent Air Fear of God hang tag that you can hang on either shoe. And here we have it, fresh from its foil pouch, the Nike Air Fear of God 1 in Oatmeal, a polarizing silhouette as it's something we had not seen yet on the basketball court. In an interview with Footwear News, Jerry actually stated he wanted the Fear of God 1 to give a visceral experience for whomever saw the shoe for the very first time. With assistance from Nike senior footwear designer Leo Chang, Jerry looked to create a sneaker also inspired by the Huarache light. The first thing that stands out is the monochromatic tone of the sneaker in Oatmeal. As you can see, a TPU cage surrounds the outer exterior of the shoe along the edges around the heel and also acts as eyelets for the laces. The base of the sneaker features a mesh upper in Oatmeal that extends to the high collar area. The sail colorway for the Fear of God 1 featured an all leather upper, which didn't provide a lot of breathability, so it's nice to see mesh used on the Oatmeal colorway. There's a stitch panel along the front of the sneaker that acts as a lace loop to use when putting on the sneaker. You have a premium suede along the toe box area on the front of the sneaker and a 3M front overlay that provides reinforcement but also shine whenever a flash is on. Now, the back zipper has received some criticism based on its construction and placement to get the shoe on and off. Engraved on the zipper itself, you have Fear of God, and on the other sneaker, you have Nike. You have a suede shroud that comes up the back heel of the sneaker to assist with putting the shoe on, and the stitch patch reads Air Fear of God. On the lateral side of the sneaker, you have Air Nike Fear of God plus the military service number of Jerry's grandfather. You have a double stacked Zoom Air unit which provides total comfort for this sneaker, and you have a circular traction pattern on the outer sole of the sneaker meant for the court, plus that translucent panel for the Air unit window. With the flash on, you're able to see all of the 3M accents present on the Air Fear of God 1. Now, visible glue stains is a major complaint about the sneaker itself, especially with the high retail cost. I think the lighter Oatmeal color shields this somewhat better than the all triple black or black and white pairs. For now, I'll stick to the monochromatic look with the Oatmeal laces. Now, on the inside of the sneaker, you have an orange perforated insole that actually molds to your foot. And you have some numbers present, which are special to Jerry: 6, 10, 24, 25. They reference the book of Joshua, chapter 10, verses 24 and 25. For sizing, the Fear of God 1 is rather long in length, so if you have a narrow or normal foot for your size, going true to size will leave room in the toe box. You could go down a half size, however, that may cause some problems when getting the shoe on. Again, I went up a half size to a 6.5, so I have room in the toe box. However, the shoe does not slip up and down on my foot. It actually locks you in rather well. From a comfort standpoint, the double stacked air zoom unit provides tons of comfort. Now, I won't go as far to say it's the same as a Yeezy Boost 700 V1 or a Jordan MA2. I don't think it's on that level. I wouldn't go that far. However, it is extremely comfortable, much more comfortable than a lot of sneakers meant for performance on the court. If it tells you anything, following this video, doing the on foot, taking pictures and B-roll, I actually didn't want to take the shoe off. Now, it could be just from excitement, it could be from the comfort, it could be from everything, but please know I'm beyond happy to finally own the Nike Air Fear of God 1 in the oatmeal colorway, but I'm pretty sure, like I said before, I'll go back for that triple black in my size.
I surround my soul with the positivity. That's why I don't worry about the things that I don't see, yeah. These days I don't worry about much. I think we should have some more fun. I still dream about the days when we were young. I'll take the hit and still.
What's going on, everybody? It's your girl TJ back with another video talks with TJ, aka TJ2 Swoosh T Yeezy MA2 TJ. I know it's fine. Call me a Jerry girl if you would like, and that still absolutely stands, even though he's no longer with Nike. He's migrated over to Adidas, and I'll never forget all of the notifications when that occurred. And I really wish some of you would have probably just taken bets on how long it would take for maybe me to venture back into wearing Adidas and what that meant in terms of fear of God and Jerry's brand and everything aligning now with Adidas. One of you would have made out like a bandit in terms of you know, your ROI. But yeah, I guess I'm just kind of I think all things happened in due time. Let's just table it there. All things happened in due time. But for this specific sneaker, yes, you guys picked from a list of 5 pairs. And more importantly, the process is what mattered. Okay, so what I mean by the process, I did an entire series on delayed gratification and why a sinking fund can absolutely help you acquire things you want, maybe that are higher price ticket items than what you spend on a daily basis. So let's take this sneaker, for example, okay? I believe I paid a little over $700 on GOAT, and no, that's not something I would typically spend on one specific item or sneaker in a single month. There was still other drops that I wanted to pick up, and clothing and much more. So I thought, okay, how do I go about paying for a sneaker I may really want that does have a rather high resale value, okay, between the $500 and $700 mark, but not suffer any other drops? Well, a sinking fund does that, and it just allows you to save a little bit at a time, put that money aside, be disciplined enough not to touch it. Then when the time is right, you have the total amount to purchase that item. You do just that, and that's exactly what happened. So once we hit November, it was time to pick the shoe. Now, you all voted on the shoe, and of all 5 options, it was a landslide for the Nike Fear of God 1 in the oatmeal colorway. And I do thank you. You know, it certainly is a sneaker that's had my heart for some time, but why hadn't I picked it up before? Okay, let's venture back to 2018. Jerry having his very own silhouette with Nike. Now, for one, that was monumental in itself. That's not done a lot at the giant sneaker brand, and we know this. So applause to him, but also the fact that he was able to bridge that gap between being on the court and a lifestyle shoe. That's really what he wanted. He didn't see the synergy there present with a lot of the pairs, and I mean, he's not wrong. A lot of them are meant specifically for performance, and they look like that. It doesn't look like a shoe you can go from the court, seamlessly go to any other part of your life and make it work. So I applaud him for that. Now, in terms of the price point, so this dropped at a price of $350. Now, please keep in mind, that's pretty much what you would pay for just like a regular t-shirt by Fear of God mainline prices. So if you weren't familiar with mainline fog prices, yeah, that's about what you would pay. Now, he's targeting a very specific audience with that, and one could argue maybe he was doing that with this Fear of God 1. I don't necessarily think it's that, but based on the materials, the execution, the structure, the design, everything that went into the sneaker, that's the price they settled on. Now, did it scare some away? I think it did. Did it scare me away at first? Yes, but only for the reason of this. Even back then, if I would look at $350, okay, for one single item, how much value would I get out of that specific item? Would I wear it every single day? Was there an opportunity for me to maybe go and pick up 3, 4, or 5 other different items and get a lot of wear out of those versus just the one shoe? And that's actually where I fell into. That's the bucket, I guess the category I really fell into when it came to that $350 price tag. Instead of paying that for just one Fear of God 1, what if I picked up, I don't know, you could have gotten an Essentials hoodie and sweatpants and a couple t-shirts and have worn those for the exact same cost of what this single solitary shoe would be. So that's why I shied away from it. It's funny, you can even find that comment, I think, on one of Locust and Wild Honey's videos, but again, in due time, if you really, really want something, it continues to stay on your mind, and it's true to your style and aesthetic, you go for it. That's what we do. We chase down grails and we eventually pull a trigger, and that's what you guys help me do. Okay, to be very candid with you, there's a high chance, there's a really high probability I go after that all true triple black pair. It's probably the least expensive, right around that $400 to $500 mark, and easily accessible, I should say, in my size, because that is one of the cons of the Fear of God 1. It's not always available in my size for certain colorways. And remember, I'm a 6 to a 6.5 for this sneaker, so I'm gonna have to shop around. Trying to find the question in my size might not even be possible, because for some of those colorways he didn't go very low in sizing, so I'll kind of have to bite the bullet and pick up what I'm able to pick up. But what are some other cons with the shoe? Funny enough, one of them doesn't really affect me. Okay, so what con am I lucky enough to not actually suffer from? Hey, that's being able to get the shoe on and off. So many of you complain that this is the most difficult sneaker to get on and off your foot at any given time. And you know what? I couldn't understand what all the fuss was about in putting the shoe on, because it was actually quite simple for me. I made sure the laces were loosened and I zipped that back zipper part all the way down. I was able to slide my foot in just fine. Now again, I went up a half size to a 6.5. I don't know if that helps with me being able to get my foot in and out of the sneaker, but I know some of you truly struggle with getting the shoe on and off, and that's actually a reason some people have returned the sneaker, or really, to be honest with you, they've traded the sneaker away or they've sold the sneaker. So I respect it. I get it. Maybe I'm just really lucky in that aspect, but yeah, getting the shoe on and off is actually a breeze for me. Okay, another candid moment. Let's be real. Let's be honest. If you were paying $350 for a sneaker retail, you would expect it to be absolutely flawless. I mean, just immaculate quality. No loose strands, no glue stains, nothing. But there are glue stains present. Now, they are certainly not as bad as that Air Jordan 12 that I had to return this year, but they are present. Now, I could totally see how that would turn people off. How dare I spend my money on this? And I deal with, well, quality control issues such as, you know, glue stains. Was it enough for me to say, oh my goodness, I don't want this shoe, I'm sending it back to go? No, it was not. And maybe that's also due to the fact that it is an oatmeal colorway, so it being lighter toned, you won't show as much as, say, like the triple black. I know that could be a concern of mine once I go after that pair, so I'll have to assess, you know, once it comes in, is my pair of good enough quality to keep it? But yeah, there are possibly some glue stains present. I totally get the turnoff that could have if you've paid $350 for that. Now, I guess a really good question could be, what is the value you're willing to place on a grail? Some people refuse to go over a certain amount, and some people just want to acquire the shoe, and once they do, they're fulfilled. And for me, yes, it is a grail. Now, also being able to own a Bread 1 is a grail. I had the 2013 pair, that doesn't count. It was trash and really just was very uncomfortable. I want the 2016 pair. But yes, this was a grail pickup for me in terms of the model itself. Now, there are other colorways I will go after, provided I can find them in my size. So paying the $700, do I regret that? Does the value work for me? Yeah, it does. I don't have an issue whatsoever. It's also probably because it didn't feel like it was just a one lump sum time payment out of my income. It was something that gradually occurred, and I think that actually lessens the sting of what I paid for the sneaker in itself. So I have zero regrets in paying $700 for it. I will appreciate that lower price point for the triple black pair once I pick that up, but I am curious, do you guys have a limit on what you would spend on a Grail? Please make sure you comment that below. Funny enough, the most common comment related to you all voting for the sneaker, some of you just wanted to see how would I wear the shoe because you had no idea. Even if you own the shoe, now maybe it's because I try and embed myself into the fear of God culture, I guess you could say. That community where a lot of people wear fear of God, whether it's mainline or essentials or the Nike collaborations every single day. So you have a really good idea of how to mix and match all of those pieces, coordinate the tones together for a really great cohesive look. So maybe I have a cheat code there, but I also drew inspiration from some of his actual mainline campaigns. So let's go ahead and break down all the ways I chose to style it. I had to pull back a few. I had to pull back on a few, but you at least get 4. As usual, be sure to sound off of the 4 looks, which is your favorite. For the first look, I'm wearing an H&M collarless button-down shirt in an oatmeal colorway. Funny enough, you have on minimal distressed denim, and then of course the Air Fear of God 1 in oatmeal. Pretty simple, pretty basic, pretty laid back. For the second look next to that, you have the Nike Fear of God t-shirt in the oatmeal colorway, the last of the collection to drop, the Fear of God New Era fitted hat in the black colorway, and then one of my favorite pairs of pants, the black Taylor N17 cargo pants. The third look is a monochromatic look from head to toe. So let's start with the Alpha Forward Henley in the sand colorway. Next, you have the H&M hooded cardigan, which is available now in black and gray, but this is in the tan colorway. And then the Fear of God Essentials nylon track pants in the cement colorway to complete the look. The fourth look is inspired by one of Jared Leto's campaign pictures for the Fear of God mainline collection. You have a shacket from Zara, I believe that's still available right now on the website. You have the Fear of God Essentials knit hoodie in the oatmeal colorway, and finally minimal snap western pants in the lighter tan colorway to complete the look. You guys know the drill. Please comment below which is your favorite. Now, I said there are only 4. I had to pull back. I had at least 6 to 8 ideas in my mind of how to style this oatmeal pair, but with timing being an issue, also wanting to keep my sanity of not having to put back that many clothes within my closet, I said let's just stick to 4, but I'm sure I'll post more on Instagram at talkstylewith.tj, where you can follow me for tons of outfit grids and styled looks similar to what you see in the B-roll for any video. I just need to say thank you guys again for being so active and participating, for voting which sneaker I would pay $700 resale for. I'll probably do this all over again next year in 2022. So if you just joined when I start that series in January, you know, hey, be sure that you tune in. That consistent, deliberate behavior is something I think that is very important. I hope some young adult took something very valuable from that entire series. You can receive, you can get a Grail, you can get an item that you really want without sacrificing other things you want as well throughout the year, consistently every single month, like sneaker drops. And if it comes to a designer or somebody you really gravitate towards because it's more meaningful than just the material things they put out, like it's really the way Jerry moves, the way he carries himself. I look to that as an example. One of his something he said that has really always stuck with me. Your character can keep you in the room, or it can remove you from rooms that God has placed you in. And I try to keep that in mind as I kind of navigate through this space, this life, this creative journey. And I think that's something that will always stick with me. So again, I thank you all so much for participating in this. As you can see, beaming ear to ear. I mean, I have Fear of God portraits on my wall as part of my decor. So you know that it's real. I now own the Nike Air Fear of God 1 in the oatmeal colorway, and I'm sure it will not be my last. So if you like what you see, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. And as always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.